Hi, Pastor Nathan Decker with your hashtag Better Together devotion for today. And this morning I read Genesis chapter 1. You've probably heard, in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth, the Spirit of God hovered over the waters of the deep. Now, that's an important aspect of creation and understanding God's work in creation, especially the imagery that's presented there. The Hebrew language is very intentional and is very much showing us that God didn't create everything out of nothing. Oftentimes we hold back to St. Augustine, who said that God created everything ex nihilo, out of nothing. But the reality is the scriptures doesn't say that in Genesis chapter 1. The creation story of Genesis chapter 1 through chapter 2, verse around 4, says something quite different. Creation happens in these 7 cosmic days, and creation is just God speaking, and it happens, and God reviews what happened, and God says it's good. But all of this comes from the chaos that God sees at the very beginning. The Spirit hovers over the deep. Water is here. It's murky and dark. The waters are uncontrolled and everywhere. Nothing exists but water. And God begins by saying, let there be light. Let there be sky separated from this water. Let there be something beyond that even. Let us have land. Let us have fish inside the water and birds inside the air. Let's have creepy, crawly critters all over the land. God creates out of the chaos. God pushes the chaos to the boundaries and creates limits and places where water meets land and water meets sky. The Spirit of God hovers over the deep, and God does something amazing in the midst of chaos. Water in the ancient world always symbolized chaos, and the writers of the Bible, whenever they came to this beginning story, they understood that. They came from that understanding that you can control a lot of things in this world, but you can't control water. Ask anybody who lives near the Mississippi River. No matter how many levees, no matter how many dams, no matter what you do, water will find a unique way of going someplace you didn't expect it to go. And our lives are filled with chaotic moments like that, aren't they? Our lives are filled with moments where we have no control over so much that's happening around us. What God teaches us through Genesis chapter 1 is to look for the boundaries, to look for the places where we can encounter God's work, where God is at work kind of setting limits and setting responsibilities, setting out to create life from the chaos. Someone recently asked me in the midst of a conversation that I was having with someone, how I maintained kind of my poise, my calm, even though the person was really kind of berating me. I said, I was listening and I was looking through all of the negative that was coming at me for diamonds in the midst of it that I might be able to use to grow. I was looking for the light. I was looking for the sky. I was looking for the land. I was looking for the creative act of God in the midst of the chaos. The next time you find yourself feeling like you're out of control or that someone's berating you or talking to you in a way that's kind of negative, look for God in the midst of it. Look for the God who speaks, who hovers over the deep, who sees pathways and meaning in the midst of unreasonable and irrational things. Look for God and be better together. Amen.